Well, Keith, I'm a little sad. Not totally sad, but a little sad. There are no pony races behind us today, but it is the last Sunday here at Old Hilltop.
That is a sad day, the last Sunday at Old Hilltop. I love coming here. It's, just a short meet these days, and but moving forward, I think we're going to be here for a little bit of an extended stay. But I've enjoyed my time here the last couple weeks. Obviously, we close things out tomorrow with that Memorial Day card, but there's some big things right here going on today with this Rainbow Pick Six. Oh my
Absolutely.
goodness,
We
we
have
got
that
great carryover.
we have a wonderful carryover. That carryover, if we could take a look at that carryover board, of course, that was keying in the carryover, I think, with what Lisa was texting me. I think, yeah, there we go, 363,540. And thank you very much. Taking a look, very exciting setup that we have.
And what's good when we have these targets, these big, pots, we also get a lot more attention to our entire card. Our handle very good yesterday, well over 4 million, I think up close to 20%. So thanks for everybody who's taken part in our racing cards here and wagering on the on the Pimlico cards this weekend.
Absolutely. I mean, we had a couple of great prices. I was so excited about Crone breaking
yeah.
the maiden yesterday at $19.20. A couple of other prices keeping it interesting yesterday. We will keep it interesting for you today here, and let's go ahead and take a look at that track that starts it all. Of course, that lovely turf course with the turf side terrace seating and the dirt track, which is fast and firm turf.
Yeah, and this turf has dried out immensely. Guys have done a great job on that. So, maybe speed a little bit better. Yesterday we saw on that turf course, speed still fairly predominant on the main track. Inside still pretty good if you can get there and save some ground. An inside-out trip will work as well.
Absolutely. We'll see what we can get for the rest of the cards here as far as trips go. Let's start things off with this first race, this early pick 5 in this maiden claiming 12.5, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the straight 3-year-olds. Keith, you and I and Mackenzie all have ABC with the scratch of the 6, ICAT, but ABC for Diane Marizzi, Jamie Rodriguez.
I think he's just kind of the improving sort, maybe the one you can trust in here. Some scattered form with these horses. Coronation time shortens up. He's had some issues the last couple starts out of the break. Not good. Unprepared to step slow. But ABC, last time out, I thought ran very well. Ahead of Uncle Chinito. Chased that one around the racetrack. Uncle Chinito was hounded. They went very fast. But I like the way ABC finished up. Took to some early coaxing, but 3 to 4 wide. Still progressed nicely through that last eighth of a mile. Divine Child that winner came back to run a good number on the raise for Mancia.
Talking and finishing up with the 5 and the 3 there for your first race with Uncle Chinito, Al Delgado, Love in May underneath for Ferris Allen. Gets your picks at 2-1-5-3 for race number 1.
Yeah, Chinito's quick. He's going to go ahead and go. I mean, he's got to maybe throttle things back a little bit. That opening quarter was very fast. The half you see 22-2, 45-4. I don't think he's going to get as much pressure as he did last time out. Maybe he stretches that speed a little bit further. This is the second time with the blinkers off. Love and May, just kind of that stranger in the opener for Ferris Allen, who's had a good last couple weeks. 3 for 10, 5 for 10 in the money. A definite dirt bottom side. They tried this horse on the turf in debut back last summer at Colonial. Have to rather nosy. That's a horse. I came from Santa Anita to here to win last year over this racetrack. So, and ran a pretty good number in doing so. 2-1-5-3 in the opener. Yep.
Let's go ahead to Keith Fustel's early pick 4 ticket. What do you got for us today, Keith? There we go. No singles, but I'm fine with that.
No, it's another tricky card. Talking to Bill and Dave Rodman upstairs, we know these cards aren't, they're not easy. I expected a little bit more in the price, category yesterday. We got a few, so maybe today we'll bring some more. But 2, 4, 8, 10. In a kind of a head scratcher, race 2 to get you started in this early pick 4. Race 3 with the 5 and 6 Candy Doll, extremely gruntled, turning back, new barn here, shipping in. Race 4, 3 and 7, evenly divided, upside down man. Robbie's got a couple in there, and wrap it up in race 5, 2 deep as well with the 2 and the 5 for a $16 ticket. Lots of money coming in on Freeze the Fire today. This horse will probably be in that 3 to 5 range, maybe even a little bit lower with the scratch of Metagooch.
No, I agree with that absolutely. $16 for Keith Fusel in his early pick four. This race does begin in a claiming 20,000 on the turf, going a mile and 16 for the 3-year-olds and up, which have never won to. Keith, let's talk about your play here in this race. Dancing Mischief, 10-1 on the morning line for Kieran McGee, Horacio Caramanos. We're taking a look back in New York.
Yeah, we're going to the go back. A 2-year-old, first time going along on the turf. After an okay debut sprinting, this horse got in all kinds of trouble early. Bumped early, checked twice. And you know what? It showed no let up. That's what I liked. This guy, he kind of got position, relaxed a little bit better through the backstretch run. But this was a very troublesome opening quarter, 3/16 of a mile. We're going to see this turning for home. This horse makes a good advance. Going to come up second best, but closes in a couple lengths for the final 3/16 of a mile. Very game effort. Gets spooled that winner. Came back to run fourth in a grade 3. Dirtied up form off the last couple, but given some time to regroup for Kieran. His turf stats have gone up. Some solid works leading into this. I think getting back to the turf with positional speed works for me at a 10-1 morning line.
There we go. McGee and Caramanos teamed up for a win together yesterday. They can probably team up for just one more at least today. Talking about the number 8 to the 10 to the outside is going to be real well for Sean McDermott, Jamie Rodriguez. I always love a Sean McDermott flat runner. If it gets the blinkers on here today, I think is going to be a big help.
Yeah, and a real touch on Dancing Mischief real quick. Second time gelding angle as well. We always like that one. So real well, yes, Sean McDermott always respect his horses on the turf course here in Maryland. Yeah, a couple races. Now coming back to the flat. Works. Look at this horse was only beaten a couple lengths by Crabs and Beer. And we saw what he did last weekend, right? Now it's on the go back. We're going to see if this guy can kind of regain this form on the flat. But I think he's got the right kind of rider to maybe settle him back a little bit with the blinkers going on and to make a good sustainable run. Works against this group. There's a little bit of relief against some of the horses that he's faced in the past.
Let's talk about Ballyhoo Prince underneath at 12-1 for Patrick Noosh. JD Acosta, they team up again. They've had this horse going well in the previous times, and this horse is okay with Pimlico.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. 4 for 5 in the money. Hasn't won yet, but has come back off of breaks to run well here. I like that comment on the go back off the break. Snug hold, got through inside. He's going to have to get positioned early. We're going to need him to save a lot to finish up this last quarter of a mile. There's some speed to target. I think a horse like Inspired Irish will be forward along with Celtic Sea from the rail. So let that flow go. Ballyhoo Princess, if this horse takes to rating, a protect move here in for the weight, not in for the tag, off the break for Patrick Noosh, very capable trainer down there in Virginia, has a shot at a big number here.
Get like Mike to wrap up your picks there for Bob Clissaris. Torrealba, of course, Torrealba on a tear as of recently, but Bob Clissaris 12-1 on the morning line.
It's a little bit of a shot. You know what I mean? Torrealba, you got to respect everything he rides, riding well. Midnight Storm, you're looking topside, but only 11% with the turf runners. But Second Dam is what caught my eye. 2 for 4, 3 for 4 in the money. Going longer, had some good figs. And, you're going to get value here. This horse is going to fly under the radar, so why not for a variable, capable barn and rider?
Why not? Race number 2 starts off with a bang on the turf. Let's go ahead to race at number 3. This is going to be a maiden special weight, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the 3-year-old fillies. Keith, you and I both have extremely gruntled for Ricardo Ramirez. Angel Rodriguez gets the call.
Interesting. This was a purchase after that April 21st race, right? New connections here. Matthew Groff, we've seen him running plenty of horses in the Mid-Atlantic, teaming up with a trainer that I'm not real familiar with, but has some good solid stats and ROIs behind his name. This is a filly that put the blinkers on last time, was pretty keyed up, won good internals in a pretty good race down at Keeneland. So I think this one, turning back in distance, will be able to rate back off of this flow. It's going to be on a Shining Spirit. I think is going to have to be forward. Candy Doll, and you've got a first in your popover gal, bred to show speed. I think this horse will be able to drop in with this shorter field and make a run from off the pace.
Why not? You mentioned Shining Spirit, the number 5, also Candy Doll, Mike Trombetta. Let's take a look at that effort with Michael Sanchez now taking the call here.
Yeah, Callie, and we're very familiar, August the 10th at Colonial, with the winner of this race. Sheila's War Cloud has come back to run some big races, was second in 2 stakes. Candy Doll did all the chasing here, a little bit of a late state, I think might have stayed on the left lead, but I tell you what, willing enough for me, coming back, Tromby with back-to-back winners yesterday. Barn heating back up, why not to go ahead and make that move? I think she's definitely going to be on or near the lead and stay the trip.
Absolutely. Just further discussing the number 3 that you have underneath Spencer Tiara, second time starter for Liz Mary Montorialba getting the call.
Yeah, when you think of the bottom side, Roman Egg, I think of, sprint, turf sprint.
Right.
Well, the brother has done his best work, Midnight Renegade, sprinting on the main track. This horse runs some big numbers. Why not fresh face? Again, you've got the Torrealba factor. 10-1, I think we're going to get in that range for that one because that was just not a real impressive debut. But this surface switch, LASIK's going on, Torrealba all works for me at value underneath.
There we go. I like the choosing of this distance and surface here. 6-5-1-3 for Keith Fusel for race number 3. Race number 4, of course, has that big Rainbow Pick 6 pool. Of course, a mandatory payout on Monday, but for right now, $363,540, and that does begin around 2 o'clock here. I went with a more expensive ticket, so I didn't include singles. I go through. I saw this, and as you mentioned, Keith, tricky enough card. So just play safe. I just played safe the entire way around. Nothing really. We're going to talk about your best bet and your value play. I don't have any big stalwart standouts today, which is exactly. It's pretty cut and dry. This is the way I went with my picks. 2 and the 6 in race number 7 as I just scrolled down. Bryson's option, Tub, Tim Siam. Those are 2 horses within that race. Sure, fine. The last race, I'm very much looking forward to. What a dramatic way to finish on today's card in a claiming 30,000 going a mile on the turf. I go 3 wide with the 6, 7, and 8. Mosey, Funzalo. At a price of 12-1, I love that. And then, of course, Lusty for the Russells there, a $97.20 ticket. Again, $353,000 on the line there. Let's go ahead and discuss that race that does start it here in race number 4, a turf event, claiming 30,000, which have never won 2, going 5 furlongs on the turf instead of going long for the 3-year-olds and up. Keith, you and I both have the number 3 and evenly divided for Farrier and Sheldon Russell. Let's take a look back on the turf in the past.
This is like kind of a rewind with another runner, Switzer, who had, not the greatest of recent dirt form, but came back and fired very well when it transitioned back to the turf course. This one's going to go first off the claim. Gets in a little trouble. Follow this one in the spotlight, upper stretch. In the gray there. Had to steady a little bit, wait for room, works outward. Closes up well, only gets beat a half. This is 16,002 in life. I think this is a kind of a sideways move, though. When you really break it down, I know we're going 30 down to 24. His races work, especially this video we're showing. Also in that race, Duck Pins makes a run. That's another one you may have to consider here for Robbie Bales. Had some issues as well. But evenly divided, first off the claim, a confident move back up, working forwardly. And like I said, getting back to the turf is going to be the key for evenly divided. And there is some flow. Shape note, speed dropping. I'm going to try to beat this horse. It's going to be a shorter price for Delacour. I think Sir Lance is interesting as well from the inside. Outside-inside move. Has some speed. 5/8, I think, might just be the perfect distance for this guy, for Ricky Silman. I like a couple of Ricky's horses today on the turf, but Upside Down Man, the other one for Robbie Bales. This horse has just had some issues in his races. He's been a little bit unlucky, hasn't had comfortable trips. I'm going to give him another shot, second off the break. That's a positive move with a positive ROI for this barn.
There we go. And your number 9, just as a reminder, Duck Pin, still no front shoes for that one. So just keep in mind there. Keith Fusel goes 3-7-9-1 for race number 3. Race number 4. Let's go ahead to race number 5. This claiming 30,000 on the dirt. This time going 3/4 of a mile for the 3-year-olds and up. Scratch in the number 4, Metagooch. You have the number 2, as well as I do on top. In the big enchilada here on McGee, Horacio Caramanos looking potentially for their second win that day.
Yeah, a few of these guys are familiar with each other. The big enchilada going to be a little bit better price than Freeze the Fire. That's the key here. I think we're both agreeing. We're going to try to get a little bit more value, but big enchilada, his run game, his last 2 out of 3. I think he's the inside speed riding, maybe the better part of this racetrack. Has to, break cleanly. Freeze the Fire, if he breaks cleanly, he just may be able to hound and go on. But a little bit better shot for some value with the 2, the big enchilada.
No, why not? Just to mention the number 1 and the 6 underneath the number 1, Penny Loafer, Hammy Smith, Victor Carrasco, and the number 6, Little Skippy for Andres Garibay. Gabrielle Maldonado gets the call.
A little Skippy, a little chaser, might hang around. Penny Loafer, we've seen this movie before with these Hammy horses going from Greg and Gory. They come in here and from Mountaineer, where they kind of got prepped there. It was what's the horse? Stop the Cap was the horse that ran big at a big number. So plenty of speed in here. Pimlico off the break could relax and make a run at a big number to help your exactas, tries, and supers. Maybe not your exacta, but your try and super. But I think the 2 and the 5 are clearly the horse to beat. The 5 is clearly the horse to beat. Look at some of those numbers. They're just gaudy.
There we go. Yes, gaudy is the perfect word for that one. 2516, as Keith Fusel mentioned. We will be right back after this commercial break for the rest of Sunday's card.
Whether you're new to the world of horse racing or a seasoned professional, we have something for everyone here at the National Museum of Racing and Hall of Fame. From fine art to legendary artifacts, our mission is to preserve and promote the history of thoroughbred racing in America and honor the sport's most accomplished participants. Open year-round and located on Union Avenue, right across from Saratoga Racecourse, adding to the rich history surrounding the oldest racetrack in America. Visit racingmuseum.org.
Of course, Belmont coming up at Saratoga. Wonderful racing museum that they do have there. Have you been, Keith?
I have never been to Saratoga. One of these days, maybe. Yeah, you would think. I've been to plenty of racetracks, but that's one I haven't gotten to yet.
You're going to have to take some of those Equibase days off and get right to it.
Okay.
I tell you every year. Okay, all right. We'll get to this conversation a little bit later, but race number 6 starts that jackpot super high 5. We have a carryover, 6,500. And remember, mandatory payouts tomorrow on Memorial Day for everybody. Starts in maiden claiming at 30,000, going a mile on the turf for the 3, 4, and 5-year-old scratches, and the 5, 15, and 16, the 13, and the 14 run. Keith, you and I both have the number 4, though. Long Branch Lou, welcome to Maryland. Nolan Ramsey gets Jamie Rodriguez.
Yeah, this young trainer, grandson, right, of Ken Ramsey. I was reading, a longtime assistant of Mike Maker.
Yes.
So he's familiar with winning race. He's been a vital part of that operation, now out on his own. And he comes in here, wants to hit the ground running in Maryland. He's got a great shot to get right on the scoreboard with Long Branch Lou. I thought this one ran very well. First off the claim, this is a race off at Tampa. He's first off the claim today. Ran very well. No cover the entire race. Loose leader and just keeps on grinding. Just misses late. I think is well spotted here. Gets a little bit more speed. I think there's some speed to the immediate inside. A covered up trip certainly will work for Jamie Rodriguez and Nolan Ramsey maybe to get off the start right one for one here in Maryland. So, yeah, welcome Nolan Ramsey.
He'll know how to enter them as per from Mike, coming under the tutelage of Mike Maker. Race the horse number 8, I Jamesville for Ricky Silliman, blinkers on with Forest Boys. This is a horse to like here from Tom Albertrani.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a price. Again, debut not so good on the dirt. Okay, beaten 27, so basically probably ease, but comes back gelded, blinkers on. Dirt to turf by Temple City, who it's about 12%, can get the turf winner, no doubt about it. Bottom side, True Sensation, topped at a 92, winning a moneyed allowance on the turf. There's other turf within this family winners. You're looking at 21 on the morning line with a rider like Forest Boys, some positive ROIs, angles, dirt to turf here for this barn. Why not take a shot with Iamsville, this 8-horse? Probably going to be every bit 20, 15, 20 to 1 off of that debut.
No, absolutely. One question, I'm just getting an update from our graphics right now. Okay, so just an update. We'll get back to that. But in race number 6, Toriava will be taking the call on this one. The 6 in race 5. The 6 in race 5 will be taking the call from. Let me just go back from. Little Skippy from Gabriel Bondonado to Angel Cruz in race number 5 on the number 6.
Okay.
Let's get back to race number 6, though. In your 10 pick on the outside, in Petrolsenka, Danielle Hodson, blinkers off, Horacio Caramanos. This is one you absolutely have to respect within your picks.
Yeah, first time for Danielle Hodson. Another one of these has probably gotten some experience elsewhere prior to coming back off of the break, but proven turf form, yes, and has the finish to certainly work against these. Some good races. Beaten favorite the last 2 times back in September over this turf course as well, but I think certainly works to rally into it.
And let's talk about the number 7, 401 Smoke Show, Carrie Bryan, Carlos Lopez. You have to just include this one. Ran well under Sheldon Russell last time out.
Took a lot of play in that turf debut, going a mile and an eighth. We're shortening up a furlong here. Good, willing effort through the final eighth of a mile after early adversity. That's going to work for me. Maiden special weight down now for the tag. That's always a key angle when you're making your bet. So 4 4-8-10-7. Yeah, Long Branch Lou. Let's see if this one can get us kick-started. I tell you, looking back at that race as well, I forget a little note. That sixth-place finish out of that race came back to win a maiden special weight next out.
There we have it. 4-8-10-7 for Keith Fusel there in race number 6. Race number 7 is a claiming 12-5 going a mile and 16th on the dirt for the straight 3-year-olds. Keith, you have the number 6 on top tub, Tim Siam. Who gets the call on this one as I'm scrolling? Gene Brasino. Let's see if he can give us a winner here.
Yeah, he's right back and got a top right there last time out at a big number. Won't be anywhere remotely close to the 28-1 that you could have gotten last time with a good second. Overland Trip, shorter field here today. Again, back with 6 horses, now down to 5. I'm sorry, with the scratch of Homecoming King. I think not this time, Randy. Bryson's option have it. They get a chance to maybe hook up early. This one will be lurking, leaving the 3A, so hopefully he can kind of get over the top late.
Let's talk about the number 1, the rail on not this time, Randy, for Carlos Mencia. Raul Mena gets the call.
Yeah, out of that race, and again, made that challenge, just couldn't quite go. But I like the inside positioning again on this race. I think this horse is going to stay the trip. Bryson's option, yes, jams down. This barn, though, we're going to show a video, right, of the 329 race. I think we've got that one over at Laurel. This is a really good effort for 20. Bryson's option up with the pace the whole way, actually gets a short lead here at the 5/16 pole, gets hounded. Mr. Agent just a little too good. These two are going to get in their own battle through the final quarter of a mile. Stepped up next time, little raise at Parks. That flow was just too quick. So things are going to be a little bit more comfortable, I believe, up front. This drop does scare me a little bit in the barn recently. Ness, it's hard to stay at the rate that he stays. 13% though the last 30 days in Maryland. We'll see. Bryson's option. He's going to be an awfully short price. I don't think he's got a huge edge over a couple of these.
No, I think he's I think this whole race is a little bit playable, which is why you're going to be going for prices like the number 6 and the 1. I can definitely see that. Wrapping things up, Surfboard, the other Jamie Ness runner, Michael Sanchez. That one stays in, gets back to the longer distance here today.
Kind of that stalker can hang around. Maybe the higher price of the Ness will do a little bit better this afternoon. 6, 1, 2, 3. No knocking him, but I mean, he's got so many horses. I don't know how they keep track of all of the runners, but to consistently hit that rate year in and year out, you're going to have a little bit of a lull, and we're seeing it right now. I'm sure he'll bounce back quickly.
Well, we're just kind of counting down to the days until that happens. In race number 7, race number 8 is a claiming 20,000, also going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the 3-year-old filly, scratching the 1 Bunny Hop, scratching the 6 Poseidon's Mist. You have the number 2 Renee's 6, now new on the rail for Kieran McGee and Erico Robles, who is a 7-pound apprentice.
Yeah, maybe taking a little advantage of the weight break against this. Very difficult. This would be an all for me if I'm playing the pick 6. Absolutely. I know I don't have the 7 in the mix. I will give you a stat, though, that would make you use her. But Renee 6, I think, had the tougher of the trips behind Puddin' Pie Matty 10 last time out. Was 3 to 5 wide. Just couldn't quite go on. Takes advantage of this inner post today. Positional speed, a little breaking away. It's capable upcoming apprentice rider here with Robles. I think sits just off of it because Cozy Colby looks like she's going to be on the go here with Torrealba.
And she's a bit all or nothing, right? That's kind of the way you go with her. So I just went ahead and took a stab with her at the top. Anything else that you saw from this filly with Carlos David?
No, I mean, like I say, you use the speed to her advantage. She's right around this. She runs a mid-50 buyer. We've got a few of these just like it. Puddin' Pie got a great ride last time. First off the claim. Second off the claim following a win, I know is a good stat here for Jerry Robb. Not much splitting any of these fillies. The stranger is the 7, Catalina Cruising, but we've seen Pecoraro come in here in the past at big numbers. Yes. Dirtied up for him, the last 2 not good, drops a little bit, but adding Lasix. Here's your stat. Where was it? I know I had it. Anyhow, I think he's 41% over the last few years, excluding first-time starters, first-time Lasix on the dirt. So that speaks volumes. I think you got to throw that one into the mix. Yeah, there it is, 13 for 32.
13 for 32.
The last couple of years, excluding firsters.
All right. Perfect. All right, thank you for that, Keith.
Yes.
There we go. 4, 2, 5, 3, 4. Throw in the 7 there. Add a bit of a touch of the 7 there in race number 8. Why not? Race number 9, our finale today, is a claiming 30,000, a mile on the turf for these 3-year-old and up girls. scratch in the 5 Kobe's Smile. You have the number 6 Mosey on top. Let's take a look at that effort for Eddie Graham with Andreas Chavez on top.
Shame on you if you missed this one at 16-1 going back in November.
Come on.
Oh, yeah, this horse we use. Eddie Graham in Maryland on the turf. That's just automatic. You have to use. And I tell you, you do not see 3-year-old fillies kind of make this kind of move in debut, sitting well back in last, 10, 15 lengths out of it after about a half mile. But look at this turn of foot. Shifts out very wide, about 6, 7 wide, and levels off with Chavez reunited today. This horse comes rolling to get command here near the 16th pole to win edging away. So if you can do that, in for the tag that day, not going to get her today. She's going to be in for the waiver, correct? Yes, Mosey. So Mosey on by this speed possibly, but it could be awfully tough to get by your top selection. Lusty looks like the flow in here. Maybe get some, pressing presence from Surprisingly Sweet, I should say. But Lusty, look at that race. Hasn't been out. But the girl from Ireland, a very good horse. I think she might be stakes place from Motion. I have to go back and double check that. Then followed it up with a win of 71 Buyer. You really don't see those in here. So she's been entered a couple times. Finally gets the turf today. She's going to go to the front, but maybe Mosey can lay a little bit closer, get her in her sights by the quarter pole, and run her down. 6-8-2-3 in the nightcap.
That wraps it up for us. Let's go ahead to lightning round to discuss a couple of more hot takes, like your value play early on in race number 2 at 10-1 Dancing Mischief for Kieran McGee and Horacio Caramanos.
Yeah, anytime I see a barn like this, 10-1, I got to take another look, and then another look. And that's what I did. I dug a little deeper. The last couple off the claim, not good on the main track. She's going to have to run a little bit faster than what she did in New York. But looking at the company she kept, projecting improvement, there's some changes here that I like. Working well, I'll take a shot. I like the position that she gets in this bigger field as well. She doesn't necessarily need the lead. If she relaxes and gets good position through that first 3/8 of a mile, I think she's going to be very tough at a good number.
Let's go from that number to the best bet, of course, Nolan Ramsey, Long Branch Lou, with Jamie Rodriguez hoping to make a nice stellar entrance.
Yeah, welcome to Nolan,
Yes.
a new face here to our training colony. I think, that was a very good race. Going to go first off the claim, a key race at Tampa. And did it. A lot of times in these turf races, you want to see your horses covered up. This one didn't mind being out there 3 wide in the clear. Sometimes they lose focus, and you just don't get going. This one just kept on determinedly every step of the way. I think it fits very well here in its Maryland debut.
You know where else I saw you, Keith, was at the Fasig-Tipton sale earlier. I saw you at the end of it on the second day, and you seemed pretty focused, and I didn't want to bother you. But this one, we're talking about a Good Magic colt who led the Maryland breds at Fasig-Tipton, sold for $120,000 to His Royal Highness Prince Saud bin Salman. Also, just highlighting some other Maryland breds who cracked the 9,000 mark. A chestnut colt by Game Winner, of course, bred by Bowman and Higgins Stable, sold for $95,000 to Larry Johnson. The Dam this one's a half to midnight loop, excuse me.
Okay.
The Dam was a lot of sense. There we go. Or a lot of loot, who had 3 winners for 3 to race. Of course, the other one also a chestnut to Uncle Lino colt, who ended up going for $95,000 to July Johnson. That one was a half sister to the Dam of multiple stakes winner Nice Ace. So a lot going on there, but a total of 21 Maryland breds at this year's sale, grossed at $1,004,000.
Yeah, I think they actually had one horse go over $1 million, if I'm not mistaken, like a 1.2 million. Not a Maryland bred.
1.25.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it was a fun sale. I enjoy just going over there and dreaming a little bit. That's the key for me. Go out and see some people. Try to guess a little bit what some of these horses are going to be going for, and who I might see running here on the racetrack in the next year or two.
Absolutely. We'll take it over to Dave Rodman for some more changes and scratches.
All right. Good luck.